to come here and speak about what's really going on and what we need to do to move forward. I know some of you guys, because I've been in Lawrence Heights many times, and I've seen you guys growing up and setting up business, doing a whole bunch of positive things. So I'm supposed to be in Brampton doing another memorial. So I said, you know what, I'm going to do two of them today. Because I have worked here before and I know some of the people here, and I couldn't say no to the people that asked me. So I come here and I'm going to speak with a heavy heart. I'm from Zero Gun Violence Movement. It's a collaboration of over 40 different organizations, agencies, and programs across the city working towards zero gun violence. My family thinks I'm crazy. A lot of the people I work with think it's impossible. And whenever I mention it to them, they're, what are you talking about? Didn't you see the newspaper yesterday? Didn't you see the TV yesterday? And my response to them is that we already have zero gun violence in the city of Toronto. But guess what? It's only in certain neighborhoods for certain people. It's only in certain neighborhoods for certain people. So I say, if they can have zero gun violence over there, we can have it over here. The people in Rosedale don't have to worry about gun violence. The people in Rexdale, they better worry about it. The people in Lawrence, they better worry about it. But you go to other parts of the city, they don't have to worry about it. So Toronto has become a city of cities. So depending on your postal code and where you live and what you look like will dictate the quality of your life, the longevity of your life. So we say hell no. Sorry, I get two swear words every time, right? Don't feel it. I have to swear now. So just bear with me. He said hell no. This is not the way it's supposed to be. And that's what we're working towards. What's going on in Rosedale, that's not going on in Rexdale. And what's going on in Rexdale, that's not going on in Rosedale. And why do we accept it? Why do we accept the status quo, that this is okay? We work across the city. 2 days ago I was in Regent Park, today I'm in Lawrence Heights, and I'm going to be in Brampton where another shooting took place. And I'm pissed off, I'm angry, I'm filled with rage. Because our young people are dying in the streets. And the people that's supposed to care don't friggin' care. We're not a priority. So today I'm going to talk about where do we go with this? Because we had another shooting, another person lost their life, we have another grieving, traumatized family, we have another grieving, traumatized community, and I keep saying, how did we get here? How did we get here? And what are we going to do about it? So I'm going to tell you, it's an analogy, right? I'm just going to work with me with this one. If you throw a brick into a pond, you get a big splash, right? After the big splash comes, you get ripples.
What do you think?
But over a period of time, those ripples subside and the pond gets back to normal as though nothing had happened. When you're dealing with gun violence, when you throw that brick into the pond, you get the big splash and you get the ripples. But guess what? The ripples never stop. And they get bigger and bigger. And it feeds into the cycle of violence. It feeds into the cycle of violence. It's almost predictable what's going to happen. I go into certain parts of the city, and as soon as the sun sets, the community becomes alive. Everybody's happy. Everybody's shopping. They got ice cream. They've got pets they're running around with. Everybody's having fun. And then I go into another part of the city, and as soon as the sun sets,
People are going.
Everybody goes inside to hide. It's bullshit. One of the people I work with, she told me, she's got 3 sons, and she will not even send them out at night to take the garbage just in case something happens, because they're in fear. We work with the mothers who have lost children to gun violence. We hear their horror stories. We also work with the people that are responsible for the violence. People that have done the crime, and want to make a difference. Want to make a difference. So when I'm speaking, I'm giving them voice. So when I say this is bullshit, this is unacceptable, I'm speaking on behalf of them. Because their life will never be the same. There's one mother I'm working with, she lost her 2 sons to gun violence. I'm speaking from my heart. And I'm going to keep it real. I don't know how she wakes up in the morning. I don't know how she wakes up in the her only 2 sons she's lost to gun violence. But she wants to make a difference to help others so they don't have to go through that mess. I work with another mother. She lost her only son to gun violence. Young and Glory, at the library. He phones her and says, I got a summer job on. And she said, way to go, congratulations, let's come home for dinner and let's go celebrate. He never made it home. He never made it home. Because he got into an altercation on the street. 10 seconds, she says. And someone pulls out a gun and shoots him 5 times in his back. He never makes it home. We work with those people, trying to give them a reason to live and not a reason to die. Because they've given up hope. So I'm speaking to you with a heavy heart. Enough is enough. Keeping it real. I am not depending on the politicians to solve this problem because they know exactly what's going on. And I'm not depending on the police to solve this problem. Because by the time they get involved, it's too late. I go back to the 1970s. My mentor is a guy named Dudley Laws. Some people know him. We used to go into jails. We used to bring food. We used to work with kids. So 40-something years later, I'm standing up in front of you here today. And I'm saying enough is enough. And another family out here right now that has to wake up in the morning, every day. How are you feeling today? I'm really concerned. But deep down, it doesn't bring that person back. It doesn't. An 11-year-old looks me in the eye, and she's describing to me a shooting that she witnessed. From the sound of the gun to the body falling. 11-year-old. She can't talk about it, but it's with her that she carries. At 16, she tried to commit suicide. She was not successful. She's alive now. Strong girl. But the violence is affecting us all in so many ways, right? It is. So when I say enough is enough, I really mean it. I know how difficult it is to work with people at times. Yesterday, I was on a conference call with the Federal Minister of Public Safety. Guess what? He's the MP for your area, Marco.
Mhm.
But when you invite me into your space, be careful, because I don't really follow a script. But I'm going to keep it real. That's the only thing you can get from me. Marco wants to know what they can do to increase public safety, not only in Lawrence, but across the city and across the country. So I said, Marco, 4 years ago, your government announced $250 million. $250 million for public safety across Canada. And 4 years later, we still have not seen $1 out of that $250 million. But every time you pick up a mic, you're going to be talking about this $250 million that we've never seen. It is supposed to be investing in communities, investing in opportunity, transforming neighborhoods so that people can feel happy and safe in their neighborhood. But we've not seen $1 of it. And anybody wants to refute that, come and talk to me, because I know that's fact. The young people are crying, they're begging out for help. Who's listening? And the longer we take to resolve this issue, the more difficult and complicated it becomes. Because I'm going to tell you something about gun violence right now. Because I have a history. I know what gun violence used to look like in 2005, when we had 52 homicides due to gun violence in the city. 1 per week, gun homicides. We went on a trip with Dudley Laws to Ottawa to speak to the Prime Minister about investing in youth, investing in communities. The poor guy didn't survive the next election, so that trip didn't go over too well. We've been at this for far too long. The gun violence now is different, unpredictable, raising young people, influence of social media and music. Some people are doing things that don't make no sense. One of the guys I work with, he's a gang leader, former gang leader. He says, Louis, when I was running my gang, we had rules in terms of who could carry a gun and who could shoot it anywhere. Because we didn't want anybody running around, because it would bring heat into my neighborhood and into my business.
Yeah.
He said, no, the young people don't care about any of that. You shoot up my neighborhood, I'm going to shoot up your neighborhood twice as much as what you shot up in my neighborhood. One of my workers works in Jane and Finch. He did this crime, did this time, and he was now changing his life around. He created a business called Out of the Box. And he was teaching kids how to get skills for trades. He had his own little business. You go to a place and there'll be hammer and nails and whatever going on. And he had a hookup with the union to get them jobs. Last year he got gunned down. Trying to make a difference. 4 people, semi-automatics, 50 shots for 1 guy. Right? We have to work with the family, we have to work with the system. We have to give them something to hold on to. Enough is enough. Right? Enough is enough. When these things happen, we all feel the pain. Sometimes we don't express it, but we feel it. You're here because you knew Jimmy. You're here because you care. This is important. Because the family is going to need a circle of love now. A circle of support. It's not as soon as the burial's done, you just forget.
True.
That's what everybody in this room can do. And I don't have to wait on government or police to do this. You're the ones that decide. how you're going to support the family. But that family will never be the same. It can never be the same. Christmas time, Thanksgiving time, Easter,
Birthdays.
while everybody's celebrating and having a good time, you can imagine what this family is going through. Enough is enough. Let's be clear. It doesn't have to be this way. The people that's going to change this is not the police or the politicians, it's going to be you. So my call today is, we're all hurting. Let's make that circle of love and care for the family as they navigate through these difficult times. But also, you know what's going on in the street more than anybody else. I'm not picking on the police, okay? But you know more what's going on in the street than the police will ever know. You know what's going on in the street more than any politician would know. We have to draw a line in the sand. Enough is enough. You're going to have to make a difference. Not after somebody is shot and killed, but before. These kids are not coming back. Today, what, March the 12th? The amount of shootings in the city of Toronto